What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Chris back again with another video. In this video, it's basically going to be the first episode of a mini YouTube series. I'm going to be calling, it's going to be like a low budget trading method series. In this series, I'm basically going to show you one low budget trading method in depth, showing you guys different ways of using it in each episode. It's going to go over the course of this whole week, preparing you guys for FIFA 20. You can use this at any point during FIFA 20. It could be during the early parts of the game, or it could be at any point after when the game is fully settled down at that point. Obviously, the first one obviously is going to be like really low budget, and that's silvers. So the first thing I want to show you guys, how do we trade with silvers at the start of the game, right? You might think to yourself, well, if League SBCs aren't out yet, how do silvers have value? Well, here's how they have value, and I'm going to show you guys a FUTBIN solution. And this is how you're going to trade at the beginning of the game. The first 2 weeks is very crucial to do trading like this before the first couple of League SBCs do come out. So let me show you guys the first solution. Alright, you see the solution here? This is a part of the Rare 5s. The Rare 5s is the last SBC, or the first, depending on how you do it, is the first or last SBC you have to complete in order to get the Rare Mega Pack from the Hybrid Leagues. Without doing this SBC, you cannot get the Rare Mega Pack, which is very valuable in the game. What ends up happening is they put together solutions that gain likes. Even if they don't gain likes, you can still trade with these cards. But here's, for example, right? Bakalke, if you pronounce that name right, he is 700 coins on the market even into September. Han as well is also 800 coins. So you're going to see this the first couple days of the year. These cards might be 1,000, 1,200 coins. They're going to try to make this SBC at least worth like 6, 7, 8,000 coins at some point. You look at any of these, right back 400 coins. So what you're going to do with these cards, 700 for this card as well. What you're going to do with these is you're going to look through all these solutions, search these player names, and then trade with them on the market. So let me take you back to the FUT market, and I'm going to show you guys right now. So for example, let's go look at Bakalke, right? Because he is supposed to go into the SBC. This is very crucial. At the moment, he's 450 coins. That shows me he's 800. Now, obviously, he is crucial for this SBC, so I know that eventually he is going to sell. So you could trade or bid with cards like this at the beginning of the game. You don't have to stick to one solution. You can do any solution that doesn't have a -1 of the likes. So let me go back to FUTBIN and show you guys really quickly. On FUTBIN, there's a thing called likes right here. This basically shows if the SBC, the solution that the person put out, is correct, it meets all requirements, and then people can copy the SBC. When people go to copy the SBC at the start because they don't want to be creative, find a different solution, they just copy the actual link. What I did very successful this year, at my start of trading and learning the market in general, I started with silver trading. So this series, this is a great first episode because I feel like I know a lot about silver trading. And trading with the SBC solution cards, I would trade with these cards for 2 hours a night. Usually make it somewhere between 15 and 30,000 coins. If you're really successful with it, you can even look at like this one right here. Even if this doesn't show if the solution works, you can still trade with these cards, especially earlier on. They're still going to have somewhat of value, even though they got into the solution. So you could still trade with these cards. That is how you trade with silvers at the beginning of the game. Whether you trade with them in terms of bidding or sniping, just looking around the market and seeing a big undercut, you know if they're going into SBCs, especially the ones that have likes on them, people will buy them. Selling silvers overnight is also a very good way of making profit. The more time they are on the market, the more people are looking at your price of that card, and they're going to buy that. Everyone is doing these SBCs at the start of the game. It's pretty well known in the FIFA community that doing the hybrid leagues, when you get to about 10, 15, 20,000 coins, this is what you have to do. To complete the first one, you have to do the Rare 5s SBC, which has a bunch of silvers and bronze cards. But let's keep it silver trading because that's where the majority of this video is going to be. So now that I've showed you how to trade at the beginning of the game with these cards, now let's get into the full year. After these solutions are kind of done, people have already done those SBCs for the most part. They may lose a little bit of value. They may stay at the same price where you could still trade with them. But there's other ways of trading with silver cards, especially when League SBCs do come out. All of these league SBCs, as they are coming out onto the into the game, they are bringing added value to the silvers that are needed for those teams. So for example, Serie A, there's multiple teams in the Serie A, like Callegri, where their cards were minimum 1,500 coins this year. All of their silver cards. Yes, there's golds for some of these teams, but silvers are very, very important when it comes to doing league SBCs, especially when people want to do the full league at one time to stack the packs to see if they can pack something sick. They will pay anything for these cards. So what you could do is basically, there's a couple different filters that I learned from this year, and there's like 7 or 8. There could be 10s and 20 like different filters you guys can use for the silvers. It doesn't have to be one filter, but here's some of them that I learned this year that were really effective. Now obviously when the league SBCs do come out, we're gonna really find out what SBCs, what silvers go for a really good price. So for example, I had a really good time this year with Serie A defenders. That was one of my filters, man. Before December or January, I would literally just do it all the time. And what I would do, man, I would sit on it a minute or two. I'd see if I can find some for 300-400 coins. Sometimes these cards were going for 2.5-3,000 coins. You're making 2 to 3k at a time on some of these. Most of the time you're making 300-400 coins, but this is low budget trading. This is how you got to be persistent. You got to be happy with 300-400 coins profit, even 100 coins profit. You have to be happy with. And I know what you're thinking. You know, you're making a video on silvers. How complicated can silver trading be? Well, I've had a lot of questions on Twitch and in the YouTube comments of like, how do you actually silver trade? So like, this is what I would be doing. I'd be sniping. I would be on the bids as well. So for example, if you see, for example, Magnani is at a buy now of 500 coins. That is the cheapest defender on the market. Now, obviously, in FIFA 19, we're in September. SBC silvers are probably not going to be going for that much. They might not sell for the most part. But when FIFA 20 does come out, these SBCs are always done. Think of it like this. When there is a promo out, SBC silvers actually go up in price. Reason why is because there's less supply of these cards coming onto the market, because more people are opening up promo packs and upgrades, and more people are doing the league SBCs. The more people doing league SBCs in a bundle. A lot of people don't just do them individual SBCs. They usually do the whole SBC. They're buying all of these silver cards. So when the silvers get taken off the market, they start to go up in price. So you can do that where you can basically buy silvers when there's no promo. And this is something that happened during the team of the season where before team of the season, there was really no promo out and silvers were pretty low. You buy them. Now at team of the season, people want to pack these team of the season cards. All the silvers are getting bought up again because they have to do the league SBCs. So back to the original point. Silver defenders at 500. Say that that's my filter, right? 500 or lower on the defenders in Serie A. What I will do now is I'll put the max bid price. The max bid price at 300 coins. The reason I will do this is because sometimes, especially late night, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you guys can do this really late night NA, you're going to find a lot of cards to flip overnight because there's just no one on the market at that time. There's not many people that are grinding the silver method because, to be fair, it gets boring after a while. I'll be honest with you, I did it quite a lot last year. So what I would do literally is I would put a bid on this Mina card right here. And I would put a bid on any of these cards that are under 300-400 coins. And the reason why is because I know during the year, if it's 500 coins for the defender, the cheapest one on the market in Serie A, that's their minimum price. They can go for higher. So like, and buy right here. He might be 1,500 coins. I could put a bid at 300 on him. Obviously, there's going to be more listings when the full game does come out. Just no one's on the game at the moment. And then I would do that. I would also just go back and look and see if the cheapest one is there again. You know, see if there's a new bid or a new snipe that I can do. And then I would do another filter. So I would go defenders from Ligue 1. I would do the exact same thing. Silver trading is, in a lot of these low budget filters, low budget methods, are all about looking at filters. All about finding the filters that work for you. If you find filters that work for you and you can make, you know, a couple thousand coins every 5-10 minutes, then stick to it. But if the method dries up, go on to the next one. Don't stay on one method because, again, time, you hear the term, time is money. If you're staying on a method that's not working, that's potential money that you could be making on a separate filter while you're just staying on one filter that is not making you any profit. So if one filter dries up, go on to the next one. Don't just stay on. So I would say pretty much defenders are less supplied onto the market, and they're more common when it comes to like putting them into SBCs. So those cards actually, like, they're pretty good filters where you could do that at 500-600 coins, and then you can bid at like 300-400, make 100 coins or higher on every single card that you bid on. And again, like I said, late night, these methods really do work. Even during the day, sometimes you're gonna get pretty lucky. It's just all about what you can snipe. During the day, you get more supply of these silver cards onto the market, so that's more room for sniping. Late night is more about the late night bidding. Really good profit in that, and then selling them overnight. That's what I would do, guys. Premier League defenders are really good. Liga 1, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, the ones at the top 5 leagues, Liga NOS, MLS, those are pretty good filters. Specific teams, now I wouldn't just stay specific to, just defenders. I would look at left backs. I would see what is the cheapest left back on the market. Now you might think to yourself, oh well, if it's the cheapest defender, why search left back? Well, because look at the cheapest left back silver on the market. It's 900 coins. So anything lower than that, again, I would do the same thing. I would look at left backs from the Serie A, and I would refine my search to about 600 coins instead. So I would bid on all these cards. Again, like I said, there's going to be more supply of these. You're not going to have 4 or 5 until, an hour is gone. You're going to have like pages full in that first hour that you're going to be able to bid on. It's a process, man. It's definitely multitasking as well. Keeping track of your bids. I would do center backs as well if you guys can. Like I was saying about the specific teams, the one team that I had really good success with was Calegari. Calegari, all their silver cards seem to be going for 1500, which put an emphasis on like sniping these cards. So you can literally just put a sniping filter of 700-800 coins or 1000 coins or less on these players and make some profit that way. Finding teams that have some silvers that are worth a lot are pretty good filters, but again, you have to figure that out for yourself. It's all about finding. I do tell you these methods, but it's up to you guys to actually put the method in place and pull it off. So that is what I would do with silver trading. That's pretty in depth, I would say. All the intricacies of silver trading, I couldn't show you guys like how to actually do it because it would take a lot of time of the video, and I feel like explaining it and maybe probably doing a video in the future about silvers could be pretty useful for you guys if you still have questions about it. But honestly, guys, I know it could be boring at times because it is silvers. Look at good nation silvers as well, like Brazilians, France silvers that are meta. You could trade with those as well, especially when they come out with the objectives. And I feel like with Foot Economist, he's going to do some pretty creative objectives this year. Look for the silvers because they're probably going to be sniped up pretty quickly, and there's gonna be some filters that you can use for that. So that's all the silver things you can do on the game. Obviously, in a previous video, I did 1, 2, 3. A league kind of explained it. And it's basically like the shorter version of the 10, 20, 30. It's basically like 1,000 minimum price, 2,000 maximum price, and then 3,000 by now minimum. And what you would do is you would basically you would bid on any of these cards that actually have a bid on them, and then you can just compare their price really quick. So if this card has like 1,000 bid on the card, I want to look real quick. If he's like 1,900 coins, I know I can bid up to maybe 1,300, 1,400, sell him for 1,600 coins, and still make about 150 coins around there. So that is really all the silver methods you can do. Hopefully this video does help you guys out. It's a long video. I didn't really want to make it a long video, but I didn't realize when I made this video, there's a lot of different silver methods to use. So hopefully this method does help you guys out. This is just episode 1 of some low budget tips. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like, comment if you have any questions about trading, investing, any different questions you guys need. I'm here for you. And subscribe if you guys are new and enjoying the content. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.